XFL.
We are in fabulous Las Vegas, where you can watch football and make some money off it at the same time. Week number 6, Vegas in St. Louis from Cashman Field. Good matchup here. We start with the quarterbacks. Luis Perez leading the XFL in passing yards and touchdowns the past 2 weeks. The Vipers have found their guy. A.J. McCarron has been that guy since game 1 for St. Louis. He comes into this week leading the league with 12 total touchdowns. And his playmaker on the outside, Hakeem Butler, shut out of the end zone for the first time last week. He's trying to get back in with a little swag. That's what his head coach, Anthony Becht, is looking for.
Simple. We talked about it last night. Okay? Do your individual job today, please. Don't do somebody else's job for you. Do your own job, okay? Believe in what you do. Have a little swag today, man. Have a little swag. Have some fun out there, man. When your number gets called, make a play. When your number gets called, make a play. All right? Get yourself on a Sports Center top 10, whatever it is. When it comes your way, make a play.
Former colleague promoting the brand. You gotta like that. The only losses for St. Louis this season against undefeated DC, who has the showdown with Houston coming up on Monday. Earlier today, Seattle beat Orlando, so St. Louis needs a win to keep pace with Seattle. Top 2 in each division make it to the playoffs. Beck was talking about swag. That brings us to Las Vegas and Sam Acho. He's got plenty of it. I'm Lo Galindo alongside. Now, Vegas loves a long shot. I'm not sure I'm quite ready to go that far with the Vegas Vipers because the struggles at the beginning of the year. But Sam, we've seen they are certainly good enough to at least affect the race in the North.
I'm buying what Vegas is selling. Vegas in their first 3 weeks was up at halftime. They got a win last week. The week before that, they could have won that game, but they struggled. And so Vegas is finally coming into form. It's halfway through the season. Let's see how they finish.
So you're saying they got a chance?
Oh, yeah, we're in Vegas, baby. I'm betting on Vegas.
Believing in everything. I love it. St. Louis, they got the playmakers around McCarron who gets the most publicity. But Brian Hill was a very good, explosive, tough NFL running back. Hakeem Butler, he's going to be in the league with his catch area code. And Darius Shepard is a playmaker. Why could this be problematic for Vegas?
Well, Vegas, as we know, they have great edge rushers, but one of the struggles is the corners on the outside. They're young. They're both 23 years old, some of the youngest guys on the team. And so you think about guys like Hakeem Butler, who's 6'6", 230. Guys like Darius Shepard, who not only is second on the team in passing receptions, but also leads the XFL in kick return yards. They have some explosive and effective receivers that may challenge Vegas's defense.
For Vegas, perfect time to get Maurice Smith back. He's ready to make his season debut at safety. He's standing by with Taylor McGregor.
Thanks so much. Yes, he is. Coach Woods had said it himself, this defense has to improve. What type of dynamic do you hope to bring to help this group get there?
Just energy. Bringing energy, confidence. Hopefully my play will run off and rub off on the other guys, and hopefully we just come out here and get the dub. That's what we're doing.
You also get to play against your former teammate at Alabama, A.J. McCarron. How does that impact the way you think out there when you know a guy so well?
Make me more comfortable. You know, I know this guy. I know him. Played against him in college or in practice, and so I'm just lit, excited to get the opportunity.
We're excited to watch it. Thanks so much for the time. Let's go across the field to Ian Fitzsimmons.
Taylor, St. Louis opened this game as a 3-point favorite in the total 44.5. Now St. Louis is down to a 2.5-point favorite. That's a big hook. Total 46. To me, those numbers have been driven by the back end of the Battlehawks defense, which is banged up. Starting safety Ben DeLuca out. Cornerback Mike Hampton out. That means Nate Maters, who's their top nickel back, he moves to safety along with Lucas Dennis. So you also get Tim Harris getting his first action at corner out of UVA of the season. But Acho, that's a lot of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul the back, and a lot of juggling on the back end of that St. Louis defense.
Especially when you have a guy like Jeff Badette, who leads the XFL in receiving touchdowns with 5 for the Vegas Vipers. It's going to be a challenge.
We've seen close games for both these teams. The over has hit far more than not when Vegas is involved. Darius Shepard back to return. This is the most dangerous return man in the XFL, but nothing there. Hit instantly by the running back, John Lovett. The Battlehawks with the number 3 scoring offense in the league. Bruce Gradkowski calling the plays to A.J. McCarron.
Team Willie Soap, Hakeem just split just a little bit.
Here we go.
Widen it out just a little bit. Swamp right. F peel, 14 Willie soap on 1.
Keep your eye on number 44 in black and red at the bottom of the line. That's Vic Beasley, the former All-Pro.
White side.
Akeem Butler, the drop. Sam, for as good as he is with the difficult catches, why does he struggle there?
Hey, you're all right.
Move to double left, 3-jet hot.
On the ball. Move.
Well, you heard
left.
he said Akeem Butler, split out. So that was for that pass right there. But you have to get comfortable. His eyes are downfield. Catch the ball first, and then you'll make your play early in the game.
You got 20 now. Set. White side.
McCarron to pass again, taking a shot, looking for Shepard, overthrown.
And it seems like St. Louis saw what we saw on tape. Young corners who aren't great in coverage. They're still growing. They're trying to exploit that early and often.
Meanwhile, for the Vegas defense.
10-10, trips right.
Good shit.
Trips right, 3-jet Haas, F juke. Trips right, 3-jet Haas, F juke, HCO.
Trips right, 3-jet Haas.
That's Chris Dishman calling the plays for the Vegas defense.
Monday, we gotta go.
Trying to stop a slide. They've allowed 30 in the past 3. Keep that in mind with the over at 46.
White side.
McCarron, check down, Austin Prohl. Prohl, first down yardage. And that's what he does. But we do have a flag. Let's listen in.
75, we're behind, so we're going to go half the distance from the previous repeat third. Holding, offense, number 75. The penalty is half the distance from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
That's against the former Pitt Panther, Jared Jones-Smith, who's making his return after missing the past 2 games because of the suspension after that fight at the end of the DC game.
And oftentimes they get the guy who gets caught. He was caught throwing a helmet in that fight against DC. He was suspended 2 games. Now their starting left tackle is back.
Protecting McCarron has been problematic.
Set. We're good. White side.
3rd and long, playing it safe with Brian Hill. And that is a attacking Vegas defense to make the stop. Adam Sparks and C.J. Avery there.
I talked to their linebacker coach earlier. C.J. Avery, they said he's an every down linebacker.
And that is the head coach of Vegas, Rod Woodson. Feels like they're close. How can they follow up the breakthrough win last week? They almost gave it away against Orlando, the only team without a win in the XFL. Matthew Sexton will not field the punt. Decent field position, though, for the Vipers offense. Ray Sherman, this is going to be his 3rd game calling plays. First half scoring not an issue, nor his quarterback with Luis Perez.
Token, H, shallow.
Axe. Hey, come on, cross running check on the left side, 61. Token and then go across.
One thing I love about this offense, Luis Perez has this calming presence about him. As you listen throughout this game, you'll notice him delivering what to do, but also calm his teammates.
Rod Smith, the tailback to his right. Perez, and a big hit after the reception. Sean Price made the catch. Taylor.
Well, one thing that could be an issue, the running back position on that opening kickoff. John Lovett, running back for Vegas, suffered an arm injury. He is questionable. Guy 2nd on the team in rushing yards this year.
And Lovett out of Penn State and Baylor, also very good in the pass game as well. Quick pass, Perez. And that is caught, but going backwards is Jeff Badette. Badette out of Oklahoma.
What's it down the distance?
Hey, Battlehawks.
All right, here we go.
Hey, 50 Battlehawks, 50 Battlehawks.
Let's go empty right, 350 stick Q option.
Hey, Battlehawks.
350 stick Q option.
Man, Battlehawks, tell him, Battlehawks.
So teams get into empty, so defenses have to expose themselves. So you get that option route, it puts people in space.
And this is something Vegas has not shown much this season, going empty. And that's going to be short for Sin-Q Sweeting.
Here we go, punt. Punt.
And Rod Woodson calling for Michael Carrizosa and the Vegas punt unit out as 2 early 3-and-outs for both offenses. Austin Prohl is back deep. Both teams cannot move more than 1 yard downfield until the ball is punted. We want to keep it out of the end zone and away from the sidelines. Prohl slips through 1 tackle. We do have a flag down.
We both had
about penalties
during the
returns.
return.
Coaches hate them
Holding
the punt return
receiving team number
is a
38.
field position game, and so coaches are saying, man, we cannot afford to have penalties in general, but specifically on punt and kickoff returns.
During the return, holding. Return team number 38. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down, St. Louis. Timeout.
So holding against the Battlehawks. No score after the opening 2. And we've got the XFL. NHL season is still going on.
Golden Knights got a game.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. We got some fans in the stands, too. I love it.
Lowell Galindo here with Sam Acho, Taylor McGregor, and Ian Fitzsimmons on the sideline. After a 3-and-out, St. Louis backed up inside their own 10.
Set. Whitey! White side.
Hill gets the carry. And the former Wyoming Cowboy is brought down after a short gain.
Trips left, tight text. Trips left, tight text. 350 Purdue. Ex-lookie. Trips left, tight text.
Tight text. 350 Purdue, ex-lookie.
Bruce Grodkowski, longtime quarterback in the NFL, calling plays to McCarron, who's had a good run in the NFL as well.
White side.
McCarron back to Butler, second drop by the second most targeted receiver in the league.
Trips left, 50 Chevy Cash. Trips left, 50 Chevy Cash.
Here we go.
It's got to be tough to get into a rhythm with drops like that.
Well, the temptation for this offense will be, usually they love to run the ball first to set up the pass. But now you're targeted early in the game. Every receiver wants the ball early, but you got to focus on a different type of game plan than what St. Louis usually does.
Third down, McCarron. That's Hill out of the backfield, but this is going to be short. And I want to go back to a comment that Anthony Beck made to us coming into this game, that he would be disappointed if his offense wasn't cooking after the first 2 drives.
Well, you have to understand, like, he would be disappointed, but they came off of an emotional loss last week against DC. That was their revenge game. Talk about emotional wins. That was an emotional loss. They gave everything they had, and they got gashed defensively, but that can play into this game. You're going against the undefeated team last week, and I got a team that's 1-4. Will you bring the juice?
Sterling Hoffrichter out of Syracuse, punting with his right foot on the goal line. Again, neither team can move more than a yard downfield until the ball is punted. Trying to promote more returns and player safety. It's a boomer, taking Matthew Sexton back inside the 30. Sexton will not be able to elude the West Virginia Mountaineer, Gary Jennings. Fitz.
Hey, Lowell, Brian Hill, running back, St. Louis, just went into the injury tent. They're working right now and peeking into the tent on his left ankle.
Fitz, that is a huge development, especially considering Brian Hill really hasn't been healthy all season long because of his hamstring.
And this is a tough play. St. Louis loves to target their backs out of the backfield, and Brian Hill is one of the best receiving backs in the XFL. And so not only if he's out, who knows what he's going to be, but not only will you lose that pass threat, but also he's a physical downhill runner.
Second drive for Perez, Rod Smith, and the Vipers. A couple of yards there for the Ohio State Buckeye.
Here we go. 11 personnel. Here we go. Trey Wright, 33.
NFL games.
Trey Wright, 33.
33 right here, left side. Let's go, gotta go, Ash.
So you're going to see Vegas start running the ball more, especially to the left-hand side. That's what that 33 should mean. But they want to establish the run to set up the pass.
Back to Smith. He's a bruiser. Left side. And a nice tackle made by the Iowa State Cyclone, Mike Rose.
35 here we go. Here we go. Let's go 11. Trio right, 61X Escalade check. Trio right, 61X Escalade check.
Here we go. 61 check. Right here. 61 check. Here we go.
And we've seen that a lot. Perez lining up Rod Smith where he needs to be to play.
Well, part of the reason is you got the microphones for everyone else. The running backs don't get them.
Perez, backside pressure, still up to the 40-yard line on a 3rd and 5. Travis Feeney was there. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
And Travis Feeney's one of the better pass rushers. He has an arsenal of moves. That was just a dip and a bend, but he has a great spin move. He has a great long arm. We talked to their coaches as well. Leroy Glover, the defensive line coach, he said, man, this guy's got some juice. He could definitely go back and be in the NFL.
Former 6th-round pick by the Steelers. Hasn't had game action in the NFL quite yet. Carrizosa pressured. He's hit. The punt is off. Here's Prohl. And Prohl brought down shy of the 35. Very close to being a blocked punt. And we do have a flag.
Left early, number 10.
Kicking team left early, tack it on, and we go. Okay. Member of the kicking team left early. The 5-yard penalty would be added to the end of the play. First down, St. Louis. Timeout.
So A.J. McCarron taking a look at the tablet, getting set for his 3rd offensive possession. Nothing to show for it so far here in Vegas.
There's always a fresh deal on the subway.
Vegas head coach Rod Woodson, you told us this week the defense needed to improve. What have you thought about the early efforts?
Flying to the ball, making some plays. We still got a lot of football left though.
We'll check in with you later, Coach. Thank you.
Hey, told us the win last week comes with a caveat. We're not giving up 35 points in a game. That's not acceptable even with the win.
We were part of that vaunted 2000 Ravens defense. He talked about this defense trying to get the same kind of confidence that one had.
Quick pass to Darius Shepard. Shepard gets lost with the loaded receiving core. 20 catches, 191 yards on the season for the former North Dakota State standout. And so now, when it comes to the start, you have as many completions as you do drop passes overall for St. Louis. 2 each. And this is Mateo Durant out of Duke into the backfield, the number 2 for St. Louis. Brian Hill is back on the sideline. Durant with the carry, a seam through the middle, a big thud put down by Deontay Anderson out of Houston. But a first down for Mateo Durant.
Well, Deontay Anderson, you see him in the middle of the field. He's one of the top safeties coming out of his class in high school. He's bringing the heat, bringing the thunder. But one thing to notice, trip strong, 3-by-1 near.
Set.
That's usually run for St. Louis's offense.
Hey, easy. Here. Hey, stop. Here we go. One sec.
McCarron felt the pressure. He's going to go for it with the wheels. Oh, cuts it upfield. And eventually tripped up at the 35-yard line. Didn't see that one coming by A.J. Week 6 in the XFL continues tomorrow afternoon with the Brahmas and Renegades on ABC at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And the 4-1 Roughnecks are in D.C. to take on the undefeated Defenders to cap Week 6 Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Every game also available on ESPN+. Durant out of the pistol. Right side, dip the shoulder pads. Ball is out. That's at least what Vegas is signaling for.
Let's go 10-10-10. 10-10-10. Move to trips left river.
They're going to mark that down.
Trips left river. On the ball, on the ball. Move to trips left river.
Hey, move to trips left river. River.
Brian Hill now checks back in.
Move. Set. Wait, set.
McCarron dumps down to Hill. Good receiver out of the running back. He's got the sideline. Flag down, lowers his shoulder, and down inside the 10.
Flag down, flag down.
Joe, Justin, what you got?
I've got an illegal low block, number 78.
Offense?
Offense, 78.
So we're going to go 15 from that spot back, which is still leave us in second down. During the run, illegal block below the waist. Offense, number 78. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul after enforcement will repeat second down.
And that's against Vidal Alexander.
And one of the rules in the XFL, especially with the low blocks, you have a 5-yard buffer, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and 5 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage, all the way down the line of scrimmage. Once you get past that 5, and Vidal Alexander is past that 5 yards, you cannot block below the waist. That's offensive players or also defensive players trying to take out offensive guys.
St. Louis so disciplined in the first 4 games, only 15 penalties. However, 10 of them last week. That was a backbreaker in the loss against D.C. McCarron got it to Butler. Butler holds on to this one and brought down by Marvin Evans.
No, 11. Stay 11. Stay 11.
At the 25.
That was the exact same play that Hakeem Butler dropped earlier in the game. Bruce Gronkowski, not just him, but most offensive coordinators, if a play works, they didn't get a chance to run it, they're going to run it again. But specifically with Gronkowski, if you see one work, he's going to run it right after that.
And that is now 31 catches on the season. Butler, number 2 behind Ja'Cour Pearson in Seattle. Screen to Hill. Man, Vegas is flying around with some tough hits.
And that was that same screen again. He saw it work before. He's the guy that I will run the exact same play
Let's go
twice
double F close tie. Double F close tie, 50 Haas, Z juke. Double F close tie, 50 Haas, Z juke. On the ball, let's go. They can't handle our tempo. Double F close tie, 350 Haas, Z juke. Hakeem's tighter, a little tighter.
Go.
Confident call from Gronkowski.
Wait, set.
Quick pass. George Campbell. Campbell tripped up. And Campbell has his 3rd reception of the season. Big time touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Saw that missed tackle on the outside. Saw another missed tackle by the other corner.
Cat, 13 duo.
Those things matter more than you
duo.
expect. Those are those young corners showing up again.
Cat, 13 duo on 1. Let's go.
This is where St. Louis has struggled offensively, inside the red zone. It's 3rd and 1. Kareem Walker checks in at running back for the first time. Vegas is flying around with some tough hits.
And that was that same screen again. He saw it work before. He's the guy that I will run the exact same play
Let's go
twice
double F close tie. Double F close tie, 50 Haas, Z juke. Double F close tie, 50 Haas, Z juke. On the ball, let's go. They can't handle our tempo. Double F close tie, 350 Haas, Z juke. Hakeem's tighter, a little tighter.
Go.
Confident call from Gronkowski.
Wait.
Quick pass. George Campbell. Campbell tripped up. And Campbell has his 3rd reception of the season. Big time touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Saw that missed tackle on the outside. Saw another missed tackle on the other corner.
Cat, 13 duo.
Those things matter more than you expect. Those are those young corners show up again.
Cat, 13 duo on one. Let's go.
This is where St. Louis has struggled offensively. Inside the red zone. It's 3rd and 1. Kareem Walker checks in at running back for the first time. Walker gets the carry, nothing there. Stood up behind the line by the Houston Cougar, Deontay Anderson. C.J. Avery out of Louisville, also there on the stop.
That's a power with no puller. Anderson comes through. We talked about it. He's one of the top-rated safeties coming to high school. He's big. He's physical. Came downhill for a critical stop.
4th down. Battlehawks won it. McCarron to throw, complete, 1st down yardage to George Campbell.
So yeah, Keelan Kennedy on the outside. You have to understand, it's not, don't defend the end zone. It's 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You have to play even tighter, and that's what you see on film. You see the outside guys playing a little bit off when they should be tight, or maybe too tight when they should be off. They're growing.
Hey, bunch left. Z flat, 19-1, don't want.
Rolling the dice on 4th and 2. It is Vegas.
Stay pistol, that's fine. Dad! 180! What's it?
Walker, left side, cuts it back, nothing there. Stopped by C.J. Avery. Avery can off his best game of the year.
We got a quarter. We got the quarter.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Total at 46 points. Both offenses struggled through their first 2 drives. St. Louis starting to click. But still at the end of 1, no points on the board.
You need some energy from the defense, you need energy from the offense. One of these teams is finding a way to win.
St. Louis, great field position when we return. The most expected points this season. McCarron, he's got clearance. Oh, the hands somehow brought in. Not even sure if that was the intended receiver, but Shepard's going to take it.
So Darius Shepard has been stepping up, especially over these last few weeks, as a big-time receiver. He's 2nd on the team in catches with 20. He makes his face and his name known in the kickoff return game as well. But he's just so calm and smooth. He's a 3-time FCS champion out of North Dakota State. Knows to find the ball, get friendly with the quarterback, as our friend Greg McElroy loves to say, and then make the 2 points on that conversion.
And something about McElroy, McCarron, those Alabama quarterbacks.
That's a drive right there. That's a big-time drive right there. Well done, baby. Good catch. Good job, Pete.
Anthony Beck wanted it after 2 drives. He had to wait for drive number 3. But back to the quarterback, McCarron, 7 for 7 on that drive.
And he had that long run where he was going to go out of bounds, and he got that first down. A.J. McCarron, he's a 2-time national champion himself at Alabama. Really a 3-time, but back-to-back as a starter, 2-time champion. So he knows what it takes to win.
Fitz.
Right now, you sound a little gassed out there.
No, I mean, we just got to keep executing, you know, just keep doing our thing, running down the field, and then we'll be all right.
Let's go here, man. Get down 3-point stance. Let's go. For people who don't know, his parents are from Poland. He and his brother at Michigan State used to talk trash to centers in Polish. I'm a nose guard.
He just the 2. He just the 2.
What? One more time.
He just the 2. He just the 2.
What the hell did you just say?
Just saying, you're going backwards, brother.
Back to you guys.
That is classic. His brother Jacob was a star with Mike at Michigan State. His final game, Mike had a pick 6 on a pass that was tipped by his brother Jacob.
That's a special moment. Now, as a defensive guy, I don't know if I'd be as offended by hearing he's just a 2, because I don't know what you're saying. Are you complimenting me? Are you cussing me out? I think I'd be okay with it.
So Vegas, now it's up to them to try to respond. And they've been the team that's been so good in the first half of games. And spinning forward is John Lovett.
12.
So good to see Lovett back. We got that update from Taylor McGregor that they were checking out him for an injury. 10 yards there for the former Penn State Nittany Lion and Baylor Bear.
There you go.
The live line, courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook. Now St. Louis favored by 6.5. Perez is absolutely smoked. Travis Feeney, the Washington Husky, got all of that 1 and 2 on his backside.
It's Feeney, former 6th-round pick. He's extremely explosive. Now on the backside, he was not blocked. Perez knows that. He has to get the ball out quick. He accepts the hit. But Feeney expects him to be around the quarterback often in this game.
It is a St. Louis team only with 5 sacks on the season. Part of that, though, 2 matchups against run-heavy DC. Lovett, right side. That hole closed quickly. Lakeem Williams out of Syracuse with the stop.
11. Here we go. Let's go. Troy left up. 760. Z dagger, X bench, H slow, A flat.
Ray Sherman knows a thing or two about offenses. Coach guys like Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. His nephew is Aaron Donald, so he knows about defense as well.
Luis Perez. Flag down, and Perez will check down to Lovett. Lovett to the sideline.
All right, we got 2 flags here, so
Hamilton.
let's be careful.
Hey now.
What you got, Willie? Offense, 61, hands to the face.
I've got DH, number 1.
Defensive hold.
Yes, number 1.
So we're going to offset because it's 5:15, but it includes an auto, so we're just going to replay the count. So put it back where it was, replay it. Illegal hands to the face. Offense, number 61. Defensive holding. Those fouls offset. Replay, 2nd down.
So
yeah, we got.
Again. And communication happening consistently between the officiating crew and Dean Blandino.
Let's go.
Vice
Even
President.
right, 83 laser. Even right, 83
Officiating
laser.
in the XFL. He's at the command center back in Van Nuys.
Rocket.
We'll check in with him as the game progresses. 3rd and 11 for Luis Perez.
Here we go.
Won the Harlan Hill at Texas A&M Commerce. That's essentially the D2 Heisman Trophy. Another dunk down here, DeAndre Torrey. He's got a burst, and from 3rd and 11, move those chains. Torrey, the UNT Mean Green.
One thing to be alert of on 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 plus, it's the screen game. You heard them call rocket. Well, that's a screen. Notice the patience from Torrey, and then the lineman get a chance to get downfield. The pass is behind the line of scrimmage. Lineman can get downfield. 3rd and 10 plus, that's usually screen. That's what you got to be alert of as a defensive lineman.
61.
How backbreaking is that to be on defense, though?
It's the worst. It's the worst because you know you think you can get a sack, but you realize that, oh no, I just made a huge mistake.
Turbo, sit up.
Flag down, Perez hit over the middle, incomplete.
Jason. Illegal.
Willie, what was the result?
Incomplete pass.
Complete pass. All right, so let's see if they want to take that. So you want to take 1st and 15 or 2nd and 10?
First and 15.
1st and 15. Illegal formation, offense, number 56, not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
There's Donnie Abraham, DC.
Let's go,
for the
Trey
Battlehawks.
left. Let's go.
Abraham, the former Pro Bowler with the Buccaneers. Ball hawk in his day. Perez, downfield, a little toe tap by Martavis Bryant. Good to see him back. He's missed all week with a knee issue. That's good for 16 yards.
We talked to Rod Woodson, his coach, and he said, man, when Martavis Bryant is dialed in his focus, he cannot be stopped. Now you listen to Martavis, he says, I know that I'm going to get the corner's best. I know I'm the target. Let's see if he made that catch.
So it looks like we got a review situation. Here's Dean Blandino.
I've got a drag. Yep, I'm on the far handheld. Got control, and I'm looking at a drag. Tap right there. That's my best look right there. Anything better? That right toe does drag. The left foot just hit the sideline, but I've got a drag with control. Yep, I'm looking at it. We're good. Ruling on the field stands, and we're gonna go on the ready for play.
We'll leave the clock alone.
You got it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Las Vegas.
Wind it up whenever you're ready.
One of the best things about Dean Blandino being in Van Nuys reviewing all these plays is that he can change, whether it's catch or no catch, goal line, line to game. He can evaluate that and make the correct call. It does not have to be challenged.
And it is college rules. 1 foot body part down for possession. Bryant, though, a guy with a long history in the NFL, got them both. Out of the backfield, good gain on first down here by DeAndre Torrey. Lakel London with the stop. Here's Fitz.
When Martavis Bryant came out of the tunnel, I was standing next to Anthony Beck, Battlehawks head coach, and he goes, can you imagine being a corner and trying to cover that human? Dude, but the field almost tilts. He is a massive wide receiver.
I mean, you're talking every bit of 6'5", 210. Bryant, 44 games in the NFL under his belt. That's what he's listed as. More than 2,000 receiving yards in his career. Here's Lovett, upended by Lakel London. London out of Western Illinois has been one of the top playmakers of the defensive front.
Well, he's 6'4" himself.
All right, here we go.
315, 320,
Let's go.
so he's
Even
got
right,
size.
60 Viper, H-bend choice. Even right. 60 Viper, H-bend choice.
Here we go, gotta go. And 33, you got 6. Here we go. Get up. Ready? What's up?
Perez with the clean pocket. And it's dropped by Lovett. So we saw issues with Akeem Butler early. And there's Lovett with the drop.
Vegas is another team that loves to have their running backs come out off of these choice routes, essentially go through the line of scrimmage. You have an option, go left or go right, depending on the leverage of the linebacker. But the issue is you have to catch that ball before you try and get that first down. Lovett had some nice catches last week on that exact same play. They're going to give him more opportunities in this game.
And he's been such a dynamic playmaker in the pass game. The drive will stall here. Here comes the rush. Gunners cannot leave until the ball is punted away. This one is going to be a beauty and downed inside the 5 by Will Adams. Michael Carrizosa. That is such a tough balance to keep it out of the end zone and away from the 35. Great job there.
Get it. Go.
The outright favorite in Vegas with our friends at Caesars Sportsbook. St. Louis, third shortest odds behind DC and Houston. As A.J. McCarron from the end zone and a flag on the play.
1-2.
Defense first. Defense.
8:50.
Oh, you had to receive.
Reset the clock to 8:53, please, when you make the announcement. 8:53.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 11. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Remains first down. Please reset the game clock to 8:53. Thank you.
Now, this is a tough spot to be if you're A.J. McCarron in St. Louis. Pass protection has not been a strong suit. On the outside, you're going to have Peter Tomopenu at number 0. Number 23, Maximilian Roberts. They're 2 of the elite edge rushers in the league.
Well, Tomopenu himself had 3 sacks last week. Max Roberts had a sack as well. 23 on the right side, number 0 on the left.
So even when Vic Beasley is not in the game, they can get to the quarterback.
Coin. Wait,
McCarron From his end zone, Hill made a good adjustment on that play for the reception. That's one way to get yourself out.
And you see it over and over again. You see number 22, the corner, Adam Sparks. He jumps on he's playing cover 2. Stay deep. You don't have to jump on the short route to the flat. Play it deep to short. You don't worry about the flat. Protect what's behind you.
A.J. McCarron, 5th round pick by the Bengals in 2014 after winning multiple national titles at Alabama.
180, white side.
Here's Hill, the Wyoming Cowboy. Played with Josh Allen. Takes it to the 20.
He's such a difference maker when he's in the game.
Next game up, San Antonio and Arlington. Back-to-back for them. That's huge in the South race to try to find that second playoff spot behind Houston. How do the Roughnecks respond? Coming off their first loss of the season to Seattle, they've got undefeated DC on Monday night. Kareem Walker checks in, gets the carry, room to run up the middle, and Kareem Walker out of South Alabama with a 16-yard run.
Saw that 4-strong look again. You see 3 receivers and the running back on the same side. Their defensive line coach said, hey, they run out of this, so you have to be ready.
F orbit, leopard, 01. Come on.
St. Louis converted on a 4th and 2, their last drive, which resulted in a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Quick pass by McCarron, back to Akeem Butler. Butler was trying to break through. Fitz, we're starting to see A.J. McCarron find his stride compared to the guy early in the year.
Yeah, we had him week 2, just because we're in the Elite 8, right? And here in Vegas, I mean, he was making these unbelievable dunk plays, right? But missing layups. I mean, if you go back to when we had him in week 2, he'd have an easy little screen pass and he'd airmail it by 3 yards. Now you're starting to see him, as he was out of football for a bit, get into a groove, and you're seeing the A.J. McCarron we saw with the Bengals and also at Alabama.
10-13, and remember, 2 of those incompletions are drops. McCarron checked down, and he's got Shepard. Shepard back to the 50, and a tough run by Darius Shepard. 13 yards and now 11 straight completions for A.J. McCarron.
Flank left, boom, 18 Wanda. Flank left, boom, 18 Wanda.
Flank left, boom, Wanda even, 01.
0 for 3, 2 drops since 11 for 11. Darius Shepard has been a regular target. Bruce Gradkowski also told us we didn't know what we had in Shepard coming into the season. Walker brought down, tackle for loss by C.J. Avery out of Louisville, but a flag.
Ten-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Now, how do you feel about that? If you're Avery, it's a holding call, but it wipes out your 6th TFL of the season.
But you're thinking more about the whole than this just your single self. Now you get the team backed up. Now you're 1st and 20. You're helping your team win. And so you know, man, I'm going to get more TFLs. I have 5 already. I'm going to get a couple more. But let's get them in 1st and long. That way we know we force them into trying to either do a screen to get half back or run. We force them into unfavorable positions.
Hurt a little bit?
Not at all.
1st and 20 now. Battlehawks backed up. McCarron empty. Over the middle. And that is back to Darius Shepard.
It was a sacks. The sacks is what hurt.
Very true. Catch episode 5 of the XFL docuseries Player 54, Chasing the XFL Dream. Thursday at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Available to stream immediately after on ESPN Plus. Directed by Peter Berg, this 9-part docuseries chronicles the creation of the XFL under new ownership and provides an all-access look at all 8 teams. So we'll have a taste of it. St. Louis-centric coming up at half. Here inside Cashman Field, week number 6 of the XFL. Battlehawks taking a shot pro. Did the Tar Heel get a foot in? No, he did not.
No, I got a drag. I got a drag.
He's gonna over.
Play the completed catch.
Good job.
Completed
Good
catch.
job.
Complete.
Good job. Good discussion. We got a catch.
Oh, that's really going to feel as a catch for a first down. I'll go.
Where's their spot?
One more, Eddie.
Bunch left. Hey, one to true. Bunch left. One to true. Listen to me. Here we go. Set.
24 yards, longest play of the game. McCarron wants his offense to listen to him. Shouting out the directions. Butler stood up by Keelan Kennedy out of Garden City Community College. Let's go back to Dean Blandino. Dean, if you may, can you take us back to what you saw on that catch by Austin Prohl?
Two officials had conflicting signals. We had a really good look that it was actually Prohl's back foot that dragged before his front foot hit out of bounds. Officials got together. We gave him some information, and the correct call was a catch at the sideline.
And that's what it's all about, coming up with the correct call. Thank you, Dean. Second and 10 for McCarron. Pressure coming, and there it is. Pita Tamopenu, one of the best to ever do it at Utah.
So I watched him work on this exact same move in pregame. It's a fake stab, and you just dip right under. He's going, and he dips right under. You see Von Miller use this move all the time. Tamopenu, he was born in Dallas. He was born in Texas. 3 months old, moves to Tonga, didn't know football, and now all of a sudden he's making plays for his team.
Didn't even know what positions were called. Picked up the game before his senior year in high school. Watched the Packers play. Told his coach, I want to play like the buff guy with long hair. He was talking about Clay Matthews. And there's a reception on third down by Stephen Mitchell, forced out by Marlon Evans. And it's because of the play by Tamopenu that brings out the field goal unit for St. Louis.
Yeah, you watch him on tape, all you see is energy. You see effort. You see great technique as well. He always has a pass rush plan. But, man, this guy had 3 sacks last week, 2 of them essentially to win the game for his team against Orlando, then another one to force a field goal. Tamopenu making dominant, game-changing effort plays. 40
yards for Donnie Hagman. Hagman with the distance, and it is good. So 11-0. St. Louis with the lead, but not before. Little action from Pita Tamopenu.
Let's go! Yeah!
St. Louis on top 11-0 here in the second quarter here with Pita Tamopenu. How were you able to get pressure on McCarron there?
It was simple. My teammate did a great job, setting the edge and covers, so I was just lucky enough to make the play. So,
what do you think Clay Matthews would think of that one?
I hope he liked it.
Thank you. Guys, I think he would like it.
Absolutely. Watched Matthews play, the long locks flowing, told his high school head coach, Kerry Whittingham, I want to play that position and get to the quarterback. Kerry's brother, Kyle, took him up on it, became a star at Utah. So kickoff rules in the XFL, neither team can leave the 30 or 35 until the ball is caught. And that is DeAndre Torrey on the return. So the total is 46 points. St. Louis has 11. And that's all we got to show for it, because so far Luis Perez and the Vipers have been shut out. The live line is 35.5 for the total, and St. Louis favored by 7.5.
35 still feels high for me, Lil.
Because you're feeling all those points are going to come from St. Louis?
I don't know where the points are going to come from.
Perez. And that is complete to Geronimo Allison, the former Green Bay Packer out of Illinois.
H-hang, alert pump.
And we are now on the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes.
St. Louis with the lead, 11-0 over the Vegas Vipers.
Battlehawks, Battlehawks, Battlehawks 24.
That's a catch! Let's go! Yeah!
The two, he just a two.
What the hell did you just say?
Just saying, you're going backwards, brother.
When he said set, he said hut. He doesn't do that.
Good job. Let's go.
And that's our game flow, brought to you by Progressive. So after the 2-minute warning, we go to more of the college rules in terms of the time, and we've got movement along the line.
71. Ball start. Ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
So all game long, after incompletions and plays out of bounds, after the ball has been spotted, the clock has been run. But now, under 2 minutes, it's like college on a first down. The clock will pause until the ball is reset. And on incompletions and out-of-bound plays, the ball will be reset. The clock will not start until the snap. Here's Perez, felt the pressure. And there's Bryant, slipping out of one, but almost 2 tackles. He's eventually forced out by Nate Maders.
Empty left. Let's go. 51 smash, H hang, alert, pump, or thumbs up.
Here we go.
Vegas with 52 points in the first half. Coming into this game, only Houston with more. Yet they are shut out. And Perez running into 2 defenders, stood up by Travis Feeney out of UW.
So Feeney would be credited with that sack, but that was a 4-man pressure. Give credit to Kevin Atkins in the middle, pushing the pocket back. Watch him right at the nose, knock back the center, and you see the loop around by LaCale London, and that's a team sack. I understand that Feeney will get the credit for it, but this is 4 rushing as 1. That's what you need to get more sacks. They had 5, they had a lot of pressures, but to create sacks, coverage on the back end, and then 4 rushes 1.
Week 6 in the XFL will continue tomorrow afternoon with the Brahmas and Renegades on ABC at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Then the 4-1 Roughnecks are in D.C. to take on undefeated Defenders. That will cap Week 6 Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Every game also available on ESPN+. So Houston, they lead the XFL in scoring, but they were slowed down by Seattle in that loss last week.
These are the 2 best teams record-wise in the XFL. DC's undefeated. They have over 300 more rushing yards than anybody else. And then Houston has a high-powered offense. And so Monday night, this will be a matchup that everyone is waiting to watch.
DC, the betting favorite to win it all, followed by Houston, and then these St. Louis Battlehawks, who are trying to stop Vegas on a 2nd and 16. Luis Perez, long throw to the sideline, trying to set up a one-on-one, and Sinque Sweeting is forced out.
Man, here we go. Let's go. Empty right. Let's go. 50 steamer, Q shallow. 50 steamer, Q shallow.
Anthony Beck just told Sterling, way to get out of bounds, buddy.
St. Louis with all 3 timeouts left, so if they can get a stop here, they can think about points, and they do get the stop. Carson Wells out of Colorado with LaCale London combining for the sack.
So shout out to Carson Wells, shout out to LaCale London, but shout out to Leroy Glover, the defensive line coach for St. Louis. Last week, they gave up a lot, not only in the pass game, but in the run game. He wrote on the whiteboard in practice, he said, never again, and had each one of those guys on the defensive line sign it. And so it wasn't this big, oh, we gave up 248 rushing yards. No, it was, hey, we know who we are. We will not do that again, and we put our stamp on it. Leroy Glover, 6 straight Pro Bowls, 13 years in the NFL. He knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to win, and now individual players are making individual plays.
Only 5 sacks for the St. Louis defense coming into this game. They have 2 here this evening.
I love coaches like that, Law, if I could be honest. Sometimes you get ran through, you have 250 rushing yards, and it's like, oh, you did this, you did that, I can't believe it. He said, nope. We watch the tape. We know who we are. We're not going to do that again. And now you're seeing it on film. Now also see 2 returners back
we got
for St. Louis.
Darius Shepard and Austin Prohl back. Carrizosa to punt. Gunners cannot leave until the ball is punted. And that is Austin Prohl. So he's got Shepard as a lead blocker. And decent field position at the 43-yard line. A.J. McCarron, slow start because of some drops, but Sam Acho, he's now completed 15 straight.
And it's doing it with his legs as well. Notice his eyes. He's looking towards the sideline. You think he's going out of bounds. Then you see him in rhythm, passing that ball before receivers even out of his break. A.J. McCarron not only knows how to win for his team, but he's also elevating the league. He's trying to make this league better. He's playing, yes, for his sons, but also making this league a league of the future. And so A.J. McCarron's trying to maintain this lead, get his team back in the race in the XFL North so they can make some noise with D.C. and Seattle being games above them.
1:20 left, 2 timeouts remaining for St. Louis. Both teams also have the challenge. That's the red dash under the timeouts. You have to have a timeout available to use a challenge, and you can challenge anything. McCarron over the middle, Akeem Butler for 8. And there's a flag with the late hit. Nigel Hill got there late.
Yeah. We have contact to the neck of a defenseless player, number 27 of the defense.
It's a good call. We've got forcible contact with 27. It's a shoulder forearm to the head neck area of a defenseless player, so that's a good call. We'll tack it on.
Player, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play.
And there's no charge timeout because the injury is due to a foul.
Let's make sure he didn't drop the ball on his way down. I don't have it dropped, but the coach is asking.
Nope. Catch is clean. Catch is clean. He bobbled it, and then he brought it in.
Snap.
Yep. And no charge timeout for the injury because of the foul. Yeah, oh, he bobbled it. Watch it. Yep. Here. And then he dropped. He just lets it go at the end.
114, block a stop.
Yep. Far handheld, yeah.
First down.
Nope, he completes it, and then he's hurt and he drops it.
Most important thing is the condition of Akeem Butler as he goes to the tent to get checked out. On the ground to Brian Hill. Hill to the 30-yard line. What did you see, Sam?
Well, first I saw a great catch out of Akeem, but then this hit, it's not a helmet to the head, but it is forcible contact, and that's tough, especially when you're a defender, you're trying to make a clean tackle. I'm hoping Akeem Butler is okay.
And it is down by contact, so Hill had to make some contact to finish the play. Not that kind of contact.
25's the mic. I mean, rip. Set. 180. White set.
McCarron taking it under 40 seconds. He's going to float this one to Shepard. Shepard, end zone.
You see the joy on Bruce Grakowski's face. You listen to Jerry Shepard talk. He says, I want to be reliable. I want to be a guy who's always in the right place at the right time.
No, jet on. 25.
The smoothest route runner on the St. Louis team from the FCS, but not all FCS programs are built like North Dakota State, where he won not one, or two, but 3 national titles. Here's the 2-point attempt from the 5-yard line. St. Louis hit on the 2-pointer after their first touchdown. Looking for Hill, checks back over the middle, complete, flag on the play, and it was dropped by Stephen Mitchell, so incomplete. Let's see what the flag is about.
Clean hit, incomplete pass.
Illegal formation, offense, number 73, not on the line of scrimmage. Penalties declined. The try is no good.
Dude, are you kidding me? That's 2 times this year, man. Where do you want it? Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
There's the play at the back of the end zone. Incomplete. We'll keep it at 17-0. What do you think Beck was talking about there?
Well, Darius Shepard has been open before, and if we're wondering about touchdowns that he catches, well, he was undrafted, signed by the Packers in 2019. His first catch in the NFL was a touchdown by Aaron Rodgers. And so, yes, he catches passes by A.J. McCarron, but he also catches passes from NFL greats as well.
So 30 seconds before we go to the half. Sinque Sweeting from the 10. Showing a good burst of speed. And wrapped up by Kareem Walker. Let's check in with Fitz.
Here, the St. Louis head coach Anthony Beck. What'd you tell your quarterback, A.J. McCarron, with a big smile on your face when he came off the field?
Yeah, so a couple games ago, we were going into the half. The clock's rolling down. We're in good shape. And I didn't call a timeout. We scored a touchdown. He let it go all the way down to like 40, low 40s. Kind of making me look bad, but he scored. And then here again, I'm like, okay, here we go again. Telling Bruce, let's that clock tick, tick, tick. I was like, he better be drawing up a good one. And we got a touchdown pass. Great connection. I think it may have been the same play. We ran a corner a couple weeks ago. We came back. We ran the same side over here. But just 2 guys on the same page. When they have it, you let them go. Plenty of time, but just kind of a funny situation.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, Ian.
Lowell.
Luis Perez back at it. To the Clemson Tiger, Martavis Bryant. Seattle Battlehawks defense. They are flying to the football. Part of their MO. And really, that was all set up by a brilliant job last time out by the St. Louis defense.
We saw those back-to-back sacks. And this is really a team stepping up from what we saw last week, saying, okay, how are we going to respond to a loss?
Perez. And that one had no shot with Nate Maters there. Again, St. Louis playing without 2 of their top stars of the secondary. Mike Hampton and Ben DeLuca are both out. And we are now at the half, and this is all St. Louis. Now the total at 46, not looking great, but if you are St. Louis and you put money on them to cover at being a 2.5-point favorite, you're feeling good with the 17-0 lead for Vegas. And A.J. McCarron, wow. I mean, we can't say enough about him, what he has done. Now, 17 straight completions for A.J. McCarron. Of course, that incompletion with a 2-point conversion, that does not count to that total. He's been locked in.
He has, and we know he came into this game tied for the league in touchdown passes, but it's more his command for the game, his command for the huddle. You saw him making that check on that last touchdown pass, the play that they ran a few weeks before, and so he's not fazed by the time or the clock. He knows what's at stake.
Vegas has felt good about the direction they've been going. They're coming off their first win of the season against Orlando. This is problematic, though, because in the first half of games, this is where they've been really good, and they struggle in the second. They got nothing to show for it, though, in the first half.
Well, Rod Woodson said, we need somebody to step up. Who's going to be the leader? It can't be the coaches saying rah, rah, rah. It has to be some player in the locker room. And so we talked about it earlier. He said the 2000 Ravens defense, he was watching that documentary. He said, we knew we were going to win. We had to have some kind of confidence. So they need to respond even better than they have in this first half.
Let's get into our docuseries, Player 54. This takes a look back to St. Louis going back home to play inside the Dome at the America's Center. First time in far too long, and the Battlehawks faithful were out in full force for an unforgettable environment. We are back in Las Vegas, so it's time to check out our first half stats, brought to you by Progressive. Sam Ancho, what jumps out to you?
It's the passing yard. It's A.J. McCarron, 17 straight completions. The first 3 incompletions, 2 of those were drops. And so you want to call it 19, call it 19. But A.J. McCarron has been money.
St. Louis defense, they got gashed last week by Abram Smith of D.C. Allowed 248 rushing yards. Well, Vegas has rushed for 15 yards in this one.
They have responded well to the challenge of Leroy Glover, but also the challenge of Anthony Beck. They talked about it. After their first D.C. game, they responded great. Anthony Beck said, want to respond again with another victory.
And Matthew Sexton opening up the second half, weaving through the left side and takes it to the 40-yard lines. Check that, Sinque Sweeting with the return. So Vegas has been dominant in the first half. They have one of the best point differentials in all of the XFL, plus 22. However, the second half, it's problematic. They're being outscored by 42 points. And even in the game last week against Orlando, they got the win, but they almost gift-wrapped that game back to the Guardians.
Seems like both teams are trying to give the game away.
Who wants to win? Meanwhile, for St. Louis, the only losses for them on the season against undefeated D.C. So Vegas will open up on the ground with Rod Smith, with the Battlehawks so stout defensively against the run. What's been different?
They've been playing as a unit. You know, the big plays that were given up last week, it was just one guy out of his gap in one of them, and another guy out of his gap in the other one. Now they're playing gap-sound football. That's what they've been most season, minus last week.
No Ben DeLuca or Mike Hampton for the Battlehawks secondary, two of their stars there. Back-to-back carries for Smith, and nothing is working on the ground as London and Wells combining for another stop.
Let's go even right, 60 Y search hammer hook. Even right, 60 Y search hammer hook.
And the defensive line really took on the challenge. All those rushing yards were given up by the team, but the defensive line is what who took the challenge, say we're not going to have that happen again.
60, 60, 60. Here we go.
Perez is 11 of 13. Just not going anywhere on the completions. Picked off. Levert Hill. This is what he did for the Michigan Wolverines. One of the best to ever do it in Ann Arbor.
So what a play by Levert Hill. It was a little bit of contact, and so there's an opportunity if there wants to be a challenge for Las Vegas to challenge this play. But Levert Hill has his eyes right there, eyes on the quarterback. See a little bit of a slip, miscommunication, and then the interception, trying to get yards after the contact.
So this is a play that Rod Woodson could challenge, and he is.
Break. Jeff. Jeff, the DB did. I'm challenging him.
Or a player position.
I don't know
the receiver reaches
so
an initial
the interception. Yeah. Okay, so he was a receiver going out, so you have a. So all right, so Dean, you got enough on that to go?
Okay,
with that?
just repeat it back to me. Is it the intended receiver?
So it's not the intended receiver. It's a receiver going out on a route, number 13. Was the intended receiver number 13 going out with a face mask?
The intended receiver with face mask. Okay, we're looking at it.
Okay, so you're challenging that. So you're calling perfectly. I'm out of that knowledge. We'll
this is what I'm looking at right here. Where you're just zoomed in? Go ahead. I see a hand. So Jason, I've got a hand up around, but I don't see a clear grab. Hold on, looking to see if we have anything better, any other close-up angles.
They're looking now. He says they got a hand up there, but they don't have a grab, but they're looking at other angles.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here, near handheld.
Got a hand up there.
It gets there late. What about my far handheld, anything? That's the best shot. Okay, it might graze, but I don't. All right, we're gonna let the ruling on the field stand. I just don't have a clear look to clearly say it's a face mask.
So, Dean, if we can follow up with that.
Okay, yeah, so I'm sorry, I didn't have the buzz. So at 13:34, they challenged in the third quarter, and then after review on the field stand, plays first down for St. Louis. That is their challenge.
Correct. It's, yeah, exactly.
Hands, there is no foul. The result of play is a first down for St. Louis. Las Vegas loses a timeout, and they've used their challenge for the game.
So one timeout charged and their challenge.
So, Dean, you need to be specific in what you challenge. But let's say there was no face mask, but you saw pass interference. What would happen in that situation?
Good question. You have to be specific. They didn't challenge pass interference. They were specific that there was a face mask against the intended receiver. We looked at all the available angles. There was some contact up around the mask, but I didn't have a clear shot that showed the grab, a twist, a turn, so couldn't add the foul in replay.
Dean, thank you. So Vegas loses a timeout, loses the challenge.
And as frustrating as it is for Rod Woodson, you still have to challenge that play. That's a turnover. That's a possession, game-changing play.
What you tell him that? Don't you go back and see if he did or not, though? Isn't that the rule?
They looking at it, and they said they can't see it. They just see the hand in your face. That's all they see. But not a grab.
So stoppage because trying to get the communication device working in A.J. McCarron's helmet. But that is great insight with Jeff Bedet trying to understand what the specific rule is.
He's saying, I knew my face mask was grabbed, so just because they don't have the look, that means it didn't happen. I know it happened. But sometimes you need that video, all the time, you need the video evidence to get the call.
It just wasn't clear for Dean Blandino to make a change. Flag on the play. 1 yard gain by Brian Hill.
Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And that's against Alexander. Is that also a sign of desperation if you're Rod Woodson?
It's both. There is a piece of desperation, but there is a piece of, I guess it is desperation, because if you have that turnover,
it wasn't like it was that clear.
But you feel the momentum falling away, and so yes, by definition, by rule, we'll call that desperation.
But I mean, Vegas, it's been a tough go for them. They've been in some close games, and finishing has been problematic. Hill, there's nobody there for Vegas on the left side, and Brian Hill taking on all the Vipers defenders.
We talked about it earlier. No edge, no chance. You didn't see the edge of the defense.
Let's go. Second down.
Hill leading XFL running backs at 5.2 yards per carry.
Move to trips right. Does he got it?
48 games in his NFL career. He averaged 4.7 yards per carry.
Lake.
Three jet. Hey, go.
Point is, the St. Louis native can get the job done.
Hey, Chevy.
So McCarron has the communication working out with his helmet. Talking to Bruce Gradkowski. They dial up a sideline bomb, and it's complete to George Campbell.
Hey,
37 yards for the Mountaineer.
Well, so what's interesting is the communication isn't working. So that leg play is actually a screen. Bruce Gradkowski called a screen. A.J. McCarron couldn't hear it, so he made his own call, and then that's what he called. And so there's still some communication issues. A.J. McCarron is calling the offense himself.
That's a guy that's played a lot of football at the highest level.
And won a lot of championships.
2 as the guy with a third at the very beginning of his career. Quick pass to Darius Shepard for a few yards. So the turnovers recently have been an issue with A.J. McCarron.
Need you over there.
But he's been clean. That's C.J. Avery checking out his right lower leg.
St. Louis leads Las Vegas 17-zip with 11:42 to go in the third quarter. And A.J. McCarron, quarterback for the Battlehawks, has 19 straight completions. But, guys, he's having serious comms issues in his helmet. He's hearing St. Louis defensive calls, player check. Now told everybody just shut up. Let me call this thing and we'll fix it when I get to the sideline.
That is incredible as Brian Hill cuts his way into the end zone. No, down inside the 1 yard line. I haven't heard of that before. Comms team's not working is one thing, but to pick up the other team?
And I thought you were going to say that everybody just shut up and let me call the play. Here's the great thing about A.J. McCarron. He gets this offense. So he goes back and forth with Gronkowski on plays and how they should be designed. And so he's comfortable calling the plays himself, number one. Number two.
Deuce left cap, 13 duo on one.
Number two, it seems like he's got the calls back.
He knows what he's doing, in control of the St. Louis offense as they are driving. So Hill with the 12-yard carry down inside the 1. Back to Hill. Fighting for the end zone. And again, stopped inside the 1.
Hey, huddle. Hey, Keem, get wider. Look, fake the now, fade, like Stevie did. All right, fade. Just go action 300. All right, we're faking. Yeah, on one. Hurry up.
So while we're so surprised, while we're so surprised by this is that
do it from the pistol.
You have the audio for the whole time. They don't have it right now.
Looking for Shepard, incomplete on 3rd down. On second down, excuse me. So first incompletion for McCarron since the second quarter. Second drive of the game.
So you said fake the now and go for the fade, but in the XFL, rules say the audio stays open the entire time, unlike other leagues. The NFL ends in 15 seconds.
Plus extra on one, or 13 counter extra. Here we go. Jingle away.
19 straight completions until that one. Intended for Darius Shepard. 3rd and goal.
Stay there. Set. White set.
Kareem Walker, the running back. Walker into the end zone, and St. Louis punches it through. Who needs the communication devices? A.J. McCarron has this under control.
So this is the best part about what A.J. McCarron just did. Never use anything in life as a crutch. So A.J. McCarron could have said, man, I need the calls. He said, forget about it. Guys, I don't need the calls. Let's get this done. We'll figure out our communication stuff later. He called the counter by himself. He called the other running play, the counter again, by himself. Called the fade as well. That's where the experience matters.
All right. Jingle right. X fly. 12 counter plus on one. Let's go.
St. Louis has scored on 4 straight drives, going for the 1-point attempt from the 2-yard line.
What's up?
Shepard in motion, goes to Walker, and Walker trying to fight forward, but he will be ruled down short of the end zone as Maximilian Roberts was there with the initial contact. So the A.J. McCarron show developing in front of our very eyes. The communication device from his OC, Bruce Gronkowski, down to him is not working, but it's no problem. How many quarterbacks in this league could handle that way?
Not many. Not many in the way that he handled it. So many quarterbacks, you got to change helmets, etc. He says, guys, I've done this before. I've been here before. We'll get that stuff figured out. But right now, I get this offense. I know what the defense is doing, and I know how to affect them. And so that's what I'm excited about.
It just saw Fitz. He's all over it.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Lowell. Yeah, thanks, Lowell. Hey, AJ, take us onto the field there, man. What the heck was going on with your comms?
Hell, you know as much as I do. It was chaos right there. For whatever reason, I couldn't get Bruce's calls. So it was a great job, just communication between everybody. Some guys kind of telling me what the play was. A little bit of Bruce knowing that I'm sometimes call my own stuff. But I mean, I got the best OC in the business, dude, and he's unbelievable. And it's just a great job by him.
Were you hearing defensive calls? You're like the St. Louis defensive checks?
Yeah, I was hearing DA for a minute. Then we finally figured that out because I kept hearing somebody say player check. I didn't know who the hell it was. So, then we figured it out. So they had to swap headsets up there. So it was just one big mess up.
Thanks, AJ.
I appreciate it.
Guys, unbelievable.
He was hearing Chris Dishman trying to line up the Vegas defense. One big mess up, but that's how you handle it with grace and poise, and McCarron did that. Luis Perez has to get something going. Could be a hold here. No flag on the play. And Ellen Lamore was in, as well as Laquel London. Looked like there was a hold in there, Sam.
Well, you lost the challenge if you wanted to challenge it.
Trio right open. Trio right 28 pin open.
Well, that's a challenge that St. Louis could have potentially made.
Correct,
Hey, look,
correct.
Jeff.
And also on that side as
Here we
well,
go.
you know it's going to be a pass, so defensive linemen are rushing and going now.
Ready? Let's hunt.
Ron Smith carry right side. And another open field stop, this time by Carson Wells, who's had a busy afternoon here in Vegas. Back in 2020, led the Bull subdivision with 2.7 tackles for
Trio
loss
left,
per
60,
game.
8 shallow check.
8 shallow, yeah. 50 check. Here we go. Solid, solid. Solid, here we go.
Third game this season for Ray Sherman calling the offensive plays. Looked like they had found the rhythm the past two with Perez. How did he do it? All the way down to Badet. Luis Perez showing some poise.
Well, the two of them have great chemistry. Luis Perez and then Jeff Badet, they trained together in 2018 coming out for the draft. They had hoped on playing together for year after year after year, and now they're gaining. You're seeing that chemistry that they've had over the last few years.
Loomer had Perez in his paws, and Perez still completed it to the OU Sooner.
Turbo, sit up.
Will that be what Vegas needs to get going? Check down. Cam Sutton. Sutton just shy of the first down. Let's give him 9 yards. Cam Sutton, the tight end out of Fresno State. Vegas involves their tight ends probably more than any team in this league.
Even right, 8-3 laser.
Here we go. Gotta go, gotta go. Here we go. Turbo, sit up.
Perez, screen, Lovett, the one-handed catch. Lovett into St. Louis territory. They break the 50 with the big one. Lovett was a little banged up at the beginning of the game, coming back strong with 17 yards.
And that's a screenplay where Perez has been getting pressured, so the defense knows I can get to the quarterback. We're up by 23. They're going to pass. So that's when you set up that screen to Lovett to slow down the defense. All the defensive linemen, Carson Wells, Travis Feeney, they're pinning their ears back because of the lead. Well, that's when screens and draws can slow you down.
You saw Abram Smith do it last week, a Baylor Bear. Lovett, a Baylor Bear. Want some of it too. Backside shoulder, incomplete to Martavis Bryant.
Chanel 12. All right, let's go. Pro right off, 124, wide sail, X dagger, H chip, slow, A flat.
So the headset working just fine for Vegas. Ray Sherman and Luis Perez, his quarterback.
Turbo, sit up.
Perez, hounded. Bryant, incomplete. And Eric Hansen from Upper Iowa with the hit in the backfield. FX Snowfall is back for its 6th and final season, where a feud threatens to destroy the Saint family. Every Wednesday at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on FX, also streaming on Hulu. Rod Woodson looking for answers. The defense was very good to start the season. It's regressed in the past 3 games.
Gotta go.
The offense looked like it was coming to life for the last 2. They've been shut out thus far. Perez picked, intercepted. Hill with his second. His first 2 picks of the year. Former All-American with the Michigan Wolverines, showing those ball-hawking tendencies. Lavert Hill keeping Vegas off the board. Battlehawks with the 23-0 shutout lead.
Put in work like I'm taking a shit. Making moves, think I'm
Louis leads 23-0 here in the third quarter. I'm with Vegas offensive coordinator Ray Sherman. At what point would you consider a quarterback change?
Well, there's a possibility we may go with Brett this next series to give him a chance to, go and play for us.
Outside of the quarterback, what else do you need to see from your offense to help get into a rhythm?
Well, the thing is, we've ran the ball in the first half, and we get some yards, and then we get knocked back and we lose some yards, and we just haven't, had that physicality that we look for. And then it's, one person here, one person there. And so the thing that we try to do is just come back and get something going and just try to get some rhythm. And so that's what we need to do.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you. Flo?
Taylor, thank you. Here's A.J. McCarron on first down, underthrowing Austin Poole. Now let's go back to the comm device situation. When St. Louis lost communication between A.J. McCarron and Bruce Gradkowski, we told you they were picking up defensive play calls. It was their own defensive play calls from St. Louis. At no point were they picking up the defensive play calls from Vegas. So important note there to clarify. And A.J. McCarron is just taking control of this Battlehawks offense. 2.5-point favorites coming into the game. They're up by 23. And there is Tomo Penu again. Second sack for the Utah standout.
As a defender, you get a little bit frustrated when you get a sack like that and the quarterback leans forward. But Pita Taomoa-Penu found a way to get his second sack today, 5th in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he is cooking on the outside. Ended his career with the Utes with 21.5 sacks, 5th most in Utah history. Live line, St. Louis by 22.5. You touching that one, Sam?
I think St. Louis is probably going to score more than 22 and win by more than 22.
Now the big issue is, the big question there is, does Vegas get anything on the board?
It's tough. The way this is looking right now, it's hard to see. Now, there could be a quarterback change, which should change things. But St. Louis still has their foot on the gas. They're still trying to score. And their potentially quarterback change could add some points.
And this is the progression. At kickoff, it was 2.5. After the first Battlehawks touchdown, went up to 6 and a hook. And now, after that Lavert Hill interception, 22.5. Short punt, a chance for Matthew Sexton. Oh, rocked absolutely by Gary Jennings. So good field position, but you got to pay for it. And we will have a quarterback change as Brett Hundley enters the game. Hundley, the former standout at UCLA, 18 games in his NFL career. It's been mostly Perez the past 2 weeks. Hundley does bring an added element with his ability to scramble. And that's Lovett. Good gain on first down, 5 yards. At this point, do you have to make a move?
You have to. You've thrown 2 interceptions. Your offense hasn't gotten anything going. You know you have a quarterback who has NFL experience, played with the Packers. Give him a chance and see if you can get some kind of spark. This, I would say, is desperation.
Well, Hundley has handled everything the right way, losing the job to Luis Perez. Every time we see him on the sideline, the picture of positivity. Love it, first down. So there is a spark, but it's on the ground with John Lovett. Back-to-back drives now for Vegas, breaking the 50. The last time they did, though, Luis Perez was picked off by Lavert Hill. St. Louis defense has forced multiple turnovers in every game this season. Calling for movement, the left tackle is St. Louis.
False start, offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And St. Louis, they swarm to the football. They want to be fast. They want to be physical. And sometimes those plays create turnovers.
So that's against Larry Williams out of Oklahoma State, 1st and 15. Back to the ground. Lovett dropped right at the line of scrimmage by Tim Harris. Harris making his debut this week. He's been in the IR with a hamstring issue. Week 6 of the XFL continues tomorrow afternoon with the Brahmas and Renegades on ABC at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And the 4-1 Roughnecks are in D.C. to take on the undefeated Defenders to cap Week 6 Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Every game available on ESPN+. 2nd and 15 for Hundley. He will throw for the first time, and that's well short, looking for Lovett out of the backfield. Now the matchup on Monday night, D.C. undefeated. They've had some close calls, especially against Seattle. That fumbled, trying to go into the end zone to win late.
760.
But they, for the first time, are the standalone favorites, according to Caesars Sportsbook. Houston, number 2. St. Louis, number 3.
And they're such a physical football team. That's the difference between them and at least what they want to be versus everyone else. They want to run the ball. That's what they've done against both of these teams when they've played them.
Hundley on 3rd down. It's Lovett. And Lovett taken down around the 40-yard line. This has to be go-for territory if you're Vegas.
Okay, 11
it
personnel.
Is. It's still 3-possession game.
Let's go trio left. Trio left. Let's go 60, escalate, check.
9 points, the maximum in a possession in the XFL. That would be a touchdown and a 3-point conversion. Coming up, the end of the 3rd quarter, Vegas shut out. Hundley will use the legs this time. Hundley has the first down as he's driven out.
All right, here we go. Let's go 11.
But after converting, so Hundley trying to spark the Vegas offense that has been shut out through 3 quarters. 23-0 St. Louis.
Pita. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing? I'm great, man. Bro, you look sharp on the field, bro. Relentless effort, energy. I love it, brother. I love it. Hey, let's eat, y'all. Hunt on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hunt. It's inspiring. Appreciate it. Straight up. Like for people, some people's like money. You're like, nah, dude, family, leadership. Yeah. Let's be great. Let's build the league. Like the way you talk about the league, the way you like call out what should and shouldn't be done about the league, not just your team, dude. Yeah. That's real.
Appreciate you, brother.
I think it's safe to say you love this, man.
I do, man. It was so great being on the field. So the defensive line coach for Vegas, he trained me when I was coming out for the NFL, the 4th-round pick. He trained me. And then watching Pita Tawomoe Benu, I've been practicing his name so long, and all his cousins are watching, and be able to just get around these guys. The XFL is for real.
Complete big hit by Elijah Hamilton, flag in the backfield.
What was the result over there?
Completed pass.
Complete. Okay. Holding offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So this is what we get into, right? The elite teams don't make these penalties. The teams that are struggling, they're the 2 leaders in the XFL, Orlando and Vegas.
And you need to believe. That's the tough part. When you're down, belief says, hey, guys, we're down by 3. Let's get 1 score. Let's find a way, get another one. Doubt starts to creep in, and that's when penalties can creep in, and then more doubt creeps in. It's almost like this cascading effect that's hard to get out of.
So it's a 1st and 20. Brett Hundley is checked in for Luis Perez, his first drive. And complete to Geronimo Allison. Allison with 1,045 receiving yards in his NFL career. Stand out with the Packers. His run was derailed because of injuries.
Let's go, trio right. 61 H shallow. Alert Z pulse.
Hundley taking a shot to the end zone. Overthrown. He's looking for Allison again. Elijah Hamilton with the defense. St. Louis playing without Ben DeLuca and Mike Hampton on the backside of their defense, two of their standouts. How's everybody else look stepping up?
They've looked great. When Nate Mader stepped in starting at safety, they've looked really, really good. Mader specifically, he's always a baller when he's in there, but now getting more reps on the outside, he's played really well.
And Brett Hundley has called for a timeout.
Their second charge timeout of the half.
13-18 left to play here in Vegas. Vipers trying to avoid being the lone team shut out in the XFL this season. Brett Hundley back in charge of the Vegas offense. Luis Perez, the numbers weren't too bad. 13 completions, 20 attempts, 99 yards, but 2 interceptions to Lavert Hill made this necessary. Going to Hundley. 3rd and 12, batted down at the line. Heads up play by Travis Feeney, who was also looking for the ball in the air. Thinking pick 6.
Well, it's funny when you tip a ball, you don't know where it is. As a D lineman, your wrestler, it could be right next to you, right above you. It could be way down the line. He thought it was right above him, but that's good awareness.
Feeney's had a standout game. Defensive line for St. Louis. They don't get enough pub, but with London, Loomer, especially Kevin Atkins inside, they are difference makers. Desperation mode here, 4th and 12. Hundley taking a shot, batted down. Elijah Hamilton timed it perfectly. The La Tech Bulldog with the PBU.
That play was beautiful. Elijah Hamilton's all the way on the outside, but he's reading the quarterback's side. That's not his man. But notice he comes from where he's on the outside corner, doesn't interfere. There's no interference, no restriction, and makes a perfectly timed play. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So after 2 takeaways via the Hill interception, a turnover on downs there for the St. Louis defense. St. Louis has scored after the 2 interceptions.
Mickey. Set.
See what they can do after the turnover on down. Solid run by Brian Hill on 1st down, 5 yards.
Hey, little Acho, that Elijah Hamilton breakup right there had to be outstanding coaching from his Vanderbilt days by some other guy named Fitzsimmons.
Tell me a little bit more there.
My brother Devin was a special teams coordinator at Vanderbilt. He had Elijah for 2 years before he went to Louisiana Tech and the transfer portal. And he likes him a lot, man. He said just has to work on his hips, but he can be a player.
That was a play right there that absolutely had to be made on 4th down. There's Akeem Butler who started slow. We talk about upside. We've seen him in the Big 12. He was one of the more dynamic receivers to come out of the Big 12 in a long time.
And it's not just his size. Yes, he's 6'6", over 200 pounds, but it's also his story. He had to move after he lost his mom to cancer. He moved to Texas, stayed with the Harrison twins. You remember them?
From the Kentucky basketball program.
J-Lo Cold.
It was a 4th-round pick with the Arizona Cardinals, so he just had some injury issues. That's what's kept him from ascending.
Yeah, broke his hand his rookie year. And that really derailed the start of his career.
He's down.
12, that 12, is 12, Brian Hill 12, brought down. Vegas comes up with the football. Let's figure this one out.
Oh, hold on.
The ball was out.
Oh, here we go. Well, let's take a look. What's your ruling? You got it down? Okay.
The runner was down.
Runner was down. Stop game. We're going to take an extra look at this. You got a recovery by Vegas? Okay, you get a recovery. I'm looking at a right knee here on this shot. Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. We're just looking. The ball came out late. I'm just looking to see if we got anything down.
Okay.
We had a clear recovery.
Well, we clearly had
yeah,
and there wasn't.
Okay.
Yep. I'm looking at the cart with the ball.
Did you
and
have
then he loses
call anything like that? No.
Okay, Jason. After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner is down.
Okay, so we're on second down. Everybody agree, second down?
Correct. Yep. And the clock will come out on the ready.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Second down.
Yeah, right.
Wind it up.
So that is a stoppage of play called down from Dean Blandino and the XFL Command Center in Van Nuys. That is not a challenge situation. Vegas used their challenge earlier in the game. McCarron to throw on 2nd and 5. McCarron looking for Shepard. DB falls down and Shepard dropped it. Oh no. Deontay Anderson bit the dust, and Shepard was ready to make him pay.
He was already thinking about his touchdown celebration for his second touchdown of the day. Look at him. Look at the score.
He knows it. He knows it. McCarron put it where it had to be. McCarron calling these plays, running the offense on his own with his headset not working to the OC, Bruce Gradkowski. 3rd down, and that is Prohl. Such sure hands in the tight windows. That's where he's at his best. Looks like this is short of the marker. So 4th down time.
He lined up on the ball, just right.
Fourth and short.
Hey, jet on, Ernie, jet on. 180,
McCarron makes a change. Brought down, dropped for the sack by Maurice Smith. How about that for your XFL debut? Vocal leader that has not been able to play because he suffered an abdomen injury at the end of training camp.
These are the things that you wish you could do in practice. Remember, they were together in Alabama. Maurice Smith went to 3 straight national championships. He won one of them. Then he went to Georgia to help Kirby Smart build that program. Injuries deterred his NFL career, and now he's back trying to do what he couldn't do in practice against AJ McCarron to sack him. Now he's doing it in the game.
15 games for him in his NFL career. Back-to-back turnovers on downs. Brett Hundley back with the Vegas offense. That's a pitching catch. Quick strike to Sean Price. Price, former police officer in his hometown of Ocala, Florida.
Let's go. Trey Wright,
got into
61,
the end zone for the
Z-hammer,
first time last week.
H, seam, A-flat.
Right now, you're looking for any sort of spark, any sort of play that could give your team belief again. Obviously, plays like that would be a touchdown, but that's all you're looking for.
If you bet the over, you're looking for something to give you belief as well, because it's been hard to find. There's Bedette with the catch. Here's Taylor.
Yeah, so you mentioned he serves as a police officer down in Florida, has been with the department for 2.5 years, but he still had dreams of playing football. And so when the XFL called, he went on a leave of absence, and he plans to go back. But talking to him today, guys, he has all the respect in the world for first responders. He's even visited with a local department here. I asked him how it went, and he said, of course it went well. He said, I can always bond with those guys.
Thank you, Taylor. And here is Rod Smith spinning his way inside the 20. Vegas in the red zone.
18-yard line. Here we go. 11 personnel.
After the
11.
19-yarder.
Let's go. Wolverine right.
Buckeye,
61. X Escalade check. Wolverine right. 61. X Escalade check.
Price is also into woodworking, and he was working on a project in his garage during the draft. Because of all the noise, didn't hear his phone call. Then he got a bunch of text messages, and it was Rod Woodson that he had a voicemail from. He missed the call from his head coach.
Well, there's so many stories of players who wanted another chance, and then they didn't know when they were going to get it. Some players didn't even know they were going to be drafted in the XFL draft. Price is making the most of his opportunity.
How about that, though? Sorry, coach, I was making some furniture. Didn't get your call. 2nd and 10 here for Hundley. And there is Sean Price. Out of the backfield to Lovett. Lovett full head of steam. Quick acceleration. And Vegas is on the board. Don't say good night to that total quite yet. Got some late game drama.
Or the 22.5, Lowell, the 22.5. So I love the odds by Hundley. He keeps Feeney from addressing that peel. Because if he looks right now, well, Feeney knows it's going to be a peel, the defensive end, and he'd go right now. But instead, he keeps his eyes in the middle of the field, passes it to Lovett, and Lovett does the rest.
Hundley lining up the Vegas offense from the 10. This means it's a 2-point conversion attempt. Hundley in and out of the hands of Geronimo Allison. Heard them communicating before that snap.
And that was a great play. We talked about his name already. Nate Maters making that play. The ball was in the belly, but Nate Maters would not allow the play to be made.
And it is John Lovett putting back-to-back excellent games on tape to help him get to the lead.
Vegas scores in the fourth quarter, and now they trail 23-6. Coach, in the fourth quarter, you have the option to go for 4th and 15 after a score. Why the decision not to go for it?
Too early. I believe our defense can get a 3 and out. Our offense can go back down and score again. We'll go for 3, get 9. Then we'll go for 4th, 15 after that.
There you go. Thanks so much. Lowell?
That is confidence, Taylor. St. Louis, the only team that successfully converted the make it, keep it 4th and 15 this season. That was part of that frenetic comeback in week number 1 against San Antonio. Oh, this is what you cannot have. The ball did not clear the 20-yard line, so this means St. Louis will take over at the Vegas 45.
Free kick landed short of the 20-yard line.
You had is gone.
And at this point, you might as well have gone for the 4th and 15.
Yes.
Vegas is going to get the ball at the plus 45. It's a 15-yard penalty from the kick. The kick was at the 30. The 4th and 15, you do it from the 25-yard line. So that's a 10-yard difference, or really a 20-yard difference. That's one you cannot have.
So kicks out of bounds before the end zone and kicks that do not make it to at least the 20-yard line are subjected to this rule, where the offense gets amazing field position at the 45.
And you talk about winning and losing, that's what you cannot afford at a situation like that.
Especially when you're talking about getting 45, the 4th and 3 and out, and then coming back and ripping off 13 straight. Like, it doesn't work that way with mistakes like we just saw. So communication devices are working for St. Louis offensively now. Brian Hill, few yards on first down. Week 6 in the XFL continues tomorrow afternoon with the Brahmas and Renegades on ABC at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And the 4-1 Roughnecks are in D.C. to take on the undefeated Defenders to cap Week 6 Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Every game also available on ESPN+. So intrigued to see how Houston responds after their first loss of the year. McCarron thrown behind Butler, a hanky down at the 42.
23 lined up in the neutral zone. 23.
Incomplete, so we're going to take this one. 23 defense. Yeah, okay. Neutral zone infraction, defense number 23. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
They had 5 offside calls a week ago, Sam.
And that was in the first half. I mean, if you're Rod Woodson, you're going crazy right now, because in the first series, there were 2 neutral zone infractions. There was another one later in the second quarter, and then in the fourth quarter as well. And so it's frustrating if you're Rod Woodson.
And A.J. McCarron is content to let this clock wind all the way down before snapping. Hill with the carry, the Wyoming Cowboy will take it to the 36.
Now there's still an opportunity for Rod Woodson, as he mentioned, that 3-and-out piece. Yes, you need to stop, but more importantly, you're protecting a field goal. Maybe that's the 34-yard line, really a first down, because it's a 16-point game right now. If you get a field goal, that's 19 points. Now it's 3 scores.
Stay on sides.
a little bit, right?
St. Louis dominating this game despite going 1 for 7 on third down. McCarron will throw. McCarron complete. Third and short. Go away from the running game and find Darius Shepard for the first down.
And notice how focused he was on this one. Remember, he dropped the last one right in this same part of the field. It was a corner route. This was just an over route, but same part of the field. Look at his eyes. Watch him watch the ball, look the ball in to get that critical first down.
Second leading receiver in North Dakota State history and catches in yards. Marcel Aitman, the second overall pick in the XFL skill position draft by St. Louis, is expected to return next week. He's missed 3 straight. Hill, green pastures to work with, tripped up at the 5-yard line.
What is he doing?
Well, the clock still runs. Once the ball gets spotted, the clock still runs. Now, within 2 minutes, that's when the clock stops. There, A.J. McCarron say, "What is he doing? Get out of bounds." It's not the NFL. It's the XFL. It will still run unless it's 2 minutes or less.
Bunch right, Z-fly, 19-1.
Bunch right. Hey, shut up. Bunch right. Z-fly, 19-1.
At one point, McCarron completed 19 straight. Hill tries to cut back. He's hit by Maurice Smith and a host of Vipers. Ball is out and rumbling the other way. Savon Walker, we've got whistles, but Savon doesn't care. He's getting his cardio in.
Progress up here, guys. We got progress up here.
Now, if you really believe in it, you got to celebrate.
Now, you're tired. I played with Savon when he was in Chicago with the Bears. You're tired. Savon is tired. He's a 300-pounder. He believes it, buddy. He believes it in oxygen as well.
It's progress.
We don't let anything play out.
We can wind the game clock whenever you're ready.
And we'll get both right, clock and play clock at the same time. We're there.
He's got the ball. He's being driven back. We've got progress. Forward progress is stopped.
So the frustration from Rod Woodson, wanted the play to play out a little longer. It was blown dead because of forward progress. McCarron scrambling, back foot throw, complete, end zone. A.J. McCarron showing the legs to set up the arm, and for the second time, it's that man again, Darius Shepard.
I was going to say guess who, but Lo, you don't have to guess anymore. It's Darius Shepard finding the end zone. Over the last few weeks, his role on this offense has expanded and increased. Remember, he was second on the team in catches with 20. He also has a great role with kickoff returns, but this is just scramble drill. The out route wasn't there. A.J. McCarron buys time. Let's use a McElroy. Friendly to your quarterback. You get open. You don't see the out, find the back of the end zone, touchdown.
Had 1 touchdown coming into this game, has 2 for St. Louis. They're going for the 1-pointer.
Set. 180. What's it?
From the 2-yard line, Hill stopped shy, and so we will stay at 29-6 with 3:05 left to play. If you took St. Louis as a 2.5-point favorite, I mean, that's locked right now with 3:05 left.
But the 22.5 is still in play. We're at 23 right now.
And that total 46 coming into the game. It's going to be tough to see that hit in the final 3:05 if you took the over. So the day started with Orlando putting up a fight, but Seattle getting the win. Sea Dragons are now starting to roll. St. Louis needed this one to keep up with Seattle in the north because the top 2 teams advanced to the playoffs. And after this week, they're looking at 4 opportunities left. For Vegas, they will drop if they lose this one to 1-5. It's been a problematic start to the season for Rod Woodson.
And it's the second half of the season. You're thinking, okay, we're going to be a new team in this new half. I'm motivating my guys. Will someone step up? And yet you didn't see what you would have hoped you would have seen thus far.
So right now, second best in the north, Do you take Seattle or St. Louis from what you've seen?
Right now, I'm still taking Seattle just because St. Louis has been, they've had to scratch and claw early in the season.
Now, this is interesting because if the ball hit before the end zone, much better field position for the defense.
Between the 0 and the 20-yard, the goal and the 20-yard line, went through the end zone. It's a touchback, first down at the 15-yard line.
So in that scenario, that's considered a minor touchback, meaning the ball hits in the field of play with inside the 20, bounces into the end zone. That comes out to the 15-yard line. A major touchback if the ball's kicked out of the back of the end zone, that's the 35-yard line. So that 1 yard difference is a 20-yard difference for the offense.
And that is ultimately where you're trying to place the football, because that makes it really difficult for a returner to know what to do.
Returners are taught, man, if that ball's going in the end zone, let it get out of there because you get the 35. But if it's at that 1 yard line, you're stuck.
So Hundley led Vegas on a touchdown their last drive. That's complete to Sweeting. They did not elect to go for the 4th and 15, make it, keep it, because Rod Woodson thought his defense could get the 3 and out. The result was a St. Louis touchdown.
Well, his defense never got that real chance because of the illegal kick. The illegal kick brought the ball out to the 45-yard line, so you're already in field goal range. And then the offsides, the neutral zone infraction. So the similar penalties we've seen over the last few weeks.
Hundley eludes the pressure, and that spat it down, incomplete. Nate Maters was there. Maters is one of those guys that's had to play a larger role with Mike Hampton and Ben DeLuca out for St. Louis. Clock continues to run after the incompletion up until the 2-minute warning. And if Vegas wants, they can take this to the 2-minute warning, but they should try to get a snap off before.
Yeah, it seems like they're wasting more time than you would like. Have more of a sense of urgency, incomplete or not.
2 seconds. They get it off.
Whoa.
And that's simply a St. Louis defender being blocked into Hundley for the sack. That's Elam Lumor getting into Brett Hundley. Sacked him with his back sack.
That's how we call that, a back sack. We'll take any sacks that we can get. Ellen Lamore gets blocked into the Hundley and gets the sack.
Sun is starting to set here in Las Vegas. Same can be said with the Vegas chances in this game. A 3rd and forever with 1:57 left as St. Louis tries to keep pace in the XFL North. Quick toss. That is going to be short for Jeff Bedette. And it will set up a 4th down where Vegas absolutely has to go for it here. They had an opportunity to get the football back after their first score of the game, which was their last drive. But with about 7 minutes left, Rod Woodson thought his defense could come up with a stop with enough time to find the end zone multiple times. Yeah. St. Louis responded with a touchdown. 4th and 4. And then St. Louis can ice it. Hundley. What a catch. Sidelined by Cam Sutton. Hold that thought.
Down.
Clock stops. Out of bounds. The Fresno State Bulldog coming up with a clutch catch.
The 6'7" Fresno State Bulldog coming up with a nice catch. Great back shoulder ball by Brett Hundley. What you'd love to see is them work on their hurry-up offense. Regardless as if you haven't been getting the reps or not, work on it. Work on this. All these reps matter.
Feeney with a big hit on Hundley. We've said his name a lot today.
Hey, let's go 61. Let's go Trey right, trips right. Let's go 61 steamer. Put your Z on the comeback. Be ready to put Matt on the comeback.
I understand if you feel as if the game might be out of reach, but these reps are valuable for everyone on this team. Work on it.
Wow, timeout.
Las Vegas has called their third and final timeout of the half.
So Vegas burns their final timeout with 1:08 left. Fitz.
I'm here with Mike Panashuk, and we just heard you dropping a little Polish out there on the field. What's punchki mean?
Yeah, ponchki is just like a big, like, I guess, like a glazed filled donut.
Whoa!
I'm just trying to throw out there any kind of words I can, throw out there, try to get the D-line, to overthink something and have them going one way while we run the other way, you know what I'm saying? So just trying to throw anything at them, really.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, no, they're good. Oh, yeah. That Tuesday, those go crazy.
Hey, punchki, single. Pull it. Forward.
And there's...
He's got to go.
Yeah, because Lavert Hill just scooped up a loose ball for St. Louis. And Hill was thinking about taking this one to the house. He's got 2 interceptions so far tonight. Let's get this cleared up because it still will be 3rd down. So Vegas football here.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 5 seconds. 1:05.
But honestly, Sam, I was intrigued by the pastries.
You talk about getting defensive linemen confused. We don't know what punchki means, so there's nothing to be confused about. If we do donuts, then you can be distracted.
3rd and 10 for Hundley. Came in for Luis Perez. Hundley over the middle, tipped and off the fingers of Allison. Maters was thinking INT, take a knee and get out of here.
I love the depth that Nate Maters got on that drop. He's getting depth. He's dropping to his landmark, but he's letting the quarterback take him back to where the ball needs to be. And so you notice he's versatile. He can play safety, you can play nickel, you can play outside. But everything he does it with precision. And so that's what makes him such a valuable asset, not just to his team, but also for himself and his future.
Last chance here for Vegas. They're done with their timeouts. Need to convert here, will not happen. Too easy for Carson Wells. 4th sack for the St. Louis defense. They came in struggling in that department with only 5 all season long.
And we talked to their defensive coordinator, Donnie Abraham. We said, man, where are the sack numbers? He said, well, it's okay. We're not getting sacks, but we're around the quarterback a lot. And oftentimes a better measure of if you're getting pressure on the quarterback, it's not the sack numbers, it's the pressures, it's the quarterback hits, it's the quarterback hurries. Eventually the sacks will come, and we're watching that play out right in front of our eyes.
Carson Wells with 1.5. Victory formation for St. Louis. Twice now, they've bounced back from heartbreaking losses to D.C. with really solid performances and wins.
Anthony Beck mentioned this. They lost to D.C. 3 weeks ago. They came back with a win against Arlington. Then they lost to D.C. last week. He said, I'm expecting us to come out the same way. They have come out with something to prove, and no matter what Seattle says or D.C. says, I know we're not playing D.C. yet, but they're saying, man, we want a rematch come playoff time.
It was a slow start for St. Louis. 2 straight 3-and-outs. Then McCarron actually got the offensive going with his legs in that 4th and 2 conversion to Campbell, ultimately set up the first touchdown, and the Battlehawks were off to the races from there.
The game plan was clear from the beginning. We're going to attack the outside. We're going to stick to who we are, and our defense is going to make plays. That's what you saw. You saw attacking the edges and then responding to a heartbreaking loss last week.
Anthony Beck looking for Rod Woodson.
Coach, good game.
Played each other 3 different times in the early 2000s, their first matchup, as this will be 2 teams that see each other twice in the span of 3 weeks. So St. Louis, after this, they go to Houston, and then we'll see Vegas again. Here's Fitz.
Anthony Becht, head coach at St. Louis, you had a very firm message to your team at halftime, and that was finish. The score was 0-0, and they did. What'd you see from your squad?
Yeah, you know, we just wanted to press the pedal down and go 4 quarters today. Just told our guys to do their job, do their assignment. That was enough, right? Go out there, not hurt ourselves with penalties or any kind of turnovers, but that was a 3-phase effort today. Offense, defense, and special teams. Good to see defense get the ball back for us several times, and just execution on offense today.
Looks like your quarterback, A.J. McCarron, also is really hitting his stride. Completed 19 straight at one point. What are you seeing from him?
That's impressive. Well, somebody's going to tell him that. He's going to give me crap today, but that's a heck of a job, man. Starts with protection up front and guys catching the football. You know, we got a lot of belief in what we're doing. Bruce Krakowski, our OC, does a great job calling a good game, and it takes 11 guys to get 19 straight completions, so I'm proud of our offense and what they've done. AJ's a big part of it, but this team, man, they play together, and that's how you win football games.
You had 2 key components out in your secondary also, in Ben DeLuca and Mike Hampton, and they played outstanding ball. What did you learn about the guys that stepped in for them?
Well, you know, they did a great job. You know, Coop and Metters and all those guys, just Lucas, Dennis. I mean, you know, those guys work hard. They roll them in all the time. It's tough to see players go down, but I love seeing players step up and rise up to the occasion. You know, and plus the defensive coordinator is their DB coach, so I expect them to play at a high level every single week. But again, it was just fun to watch. I love when these guys go out there and they put the work in during the week and they come out with the result that they want. So it's a great bounce back win for us. We're 4-2 and we're right where we want to be.
Thanks, AB.
All right, thanks, Ian.
Over to Taylor.
Thank you. Here with A.J. McCarron, catching up with some friends on the other side. A.J., for you, 19 straight completions at one point. What allowed you to get into such a rhythm throughout the game today?
Guys just making plays, and Bruce had an unbelievable game plan. You know, felt really comfortable this week. Just tried to get back to just, you know, taking what they give me. Having a sour taste in my mouth after how last week ended, but you got to be willing to risk something to be great. So just coming out here, guys played awesome. I'm just super proud of our guys bouncing back and responding the right way.
How would you describe the team overall this week after the loss last week to come out here and get this win today?
Yeah, it's big, right? Like, I mean, you want to see how you respond to adversity, and to come out and have a big win like we did, 29 points. Really had a bunch of, you know, more left on the field that we could have scored, but I was just proud of the guys. They focused all week, did the right things, didn't have the distractions out here, which Vegas can be, so proud of the guys.
How do you feel like this offense has grown from week 1 to right now?
I mean, tremendous. Like, that's what I said. It's, you know, said a couple weeks ago, we're only going to get better and better, getting used to what Bruce wants, not having a ton of time with each other to put this offense in, and I mean, we're taking the right steps. And listen, I think I had the best OC in the business. Bruce has been unbelievable, and just putting guys in the, you know, the correct spots to be successful, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Appreciate your time, AJ. Thank you, guys.
And this is what's incredible about the performance with A.J. McCarron. He just gave a shout-out to his OC, Bruce Gradkowski. He lost communications with Gradkowski during the game. That was still in the midst of McCarron completing those 19 straight passes. But overall, the evolution of the St. Louis offense, the turnovers had been an issue the past few weeks for McCarron. He was clean there. Protecting him all season long has been a problem. Against a good pass rush against Vegas, he's only sacked twice. And guys like Darius Shepard becoming go-to targets, we had no idea who Darius Shepard was, nor did St. Louis really at the start of the year.
This team has evolved so much. You heard A.J. McCarron say it. Early on, we struggled, but we found ways to win. Now they're finding their stride. Not only Hakeem Butler, who we saw on the outside make that big comeback. Yeah. He was the one who had caught that touchdown in week 1 to get that comeback. But now you're seeing Darius Shepard. Austin Proehl still has his role. Everyone on this team knows their role. You talk about knowing your role and doing your job. That's what this offense has been. And defensively, they did not have the sack numbers coming into this game, but you keep on pressing and pressing and pressing the right way, and then those numbers start to come. You leave this game with so much more confidence than you came into it because you did not know how you would respond.
Yeah, the takeaways, though, were there for the St. Louis defense. 2 of them from Lavert Hill out of Michigan. This is what it looked like and sounded like as we go all access with St. Louis after the win against Vegas.
When your number gets called, make a play. When your number gets called, make a play. All right, get yourself on a Sports Center top 10, whatever it is. When it comes your way, make a play.
Hey, J-Lo cold. J-Lo cold. Give me some. Give me some.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Hit his ass. That's a catch!
Good job. Let's go.
So coming into this game, Anthony Beck and his team, third shortest odds, according to Caesar Sportsbook, to win it all, with the favorites being the two teams that will match up on Monday night with DC and Houston. After now seeing St. Louis for the second time, where do you think they stack up in this XFL race?
Well, they're right up there at or near the top. Here's why. Their only two losses are against the team that's undefeated in D.C. And you could say, well, some of those wins, they were late and had to use the fourth and forever play and get the onside. But they won. At the end of the day, they're winning and they're hitting their stride at the right time. And so what we heard from Anthony Beck was that we'll see how Houston is, but we'll see how DC is because they're playing Houston. Then we'll be able to really level where we're at. So the win is what you need, but Monday night is where everyone is going to be watching.
Yeah. The most intriguing race. It may not be who wins the North or South. It may be who gets that second spot in the North, Seattle or St. Louis, because both teams rolling right now. More from Vegas coming up.